Carlo Carra Gino, 1881, di Milan, 1966. Carlo Carra left home at the age of 12 to work as a mural decorator. After spending time in Paris and London, he enrolled at Milan's Brera Academy in 1906. In 1910, he helped draw up the Manifesto of Futurist Painters, which saw the beginning of his most popular and influential phase of painting. Early works, such as the heartfelt funeral of the anarchist Galli, 1911, combined a futurist dynamic with a cubist feel for structure. His futurist phase ended during World War I, when he met the painter Giorgio de Chirico and discovered metaphysica painting. Carra later turned his back on the avant-garde completely, advocating the support of fascism through art. Interventionist manifestation, the virtuoso collage, intended as a plastic abstraction of civil tumult, was originally published in the futurist journal La Serba in August 1914, as part of Futurism's campaign for interventionism, urging Italy to enter World War I. 1914, collage on cardboard, 39 by 30 centimeters, Peggy Guggenheim Collection, Venice. Closer look. Rotating type. Carra incorporated newspaper cuttings and other typographical fragments into a whirl of liberated words, inspired by Marinetti's own linguistic experiments, placing Italia at the center. Gino Severini. B. Cortona, 1885, di Paris, 1966. Gino Severini was a former pupil of Giacomo Balla. Based in Paris from 1906, he became the vital bridge between the Cubists and the Futurists. Severini's figurative paintings from the Futurist period, portraying dynamic subjects such as busy streets, dancers, and trains, are characterized by their Cubist fragmentation and use of strong geometric shapes and colors. After 1913, Severini's work became more abstract and lyrical as he moved towards a more Orphic approach based on the abstract possibilities of divisionism. Paintings such as the centrifugal expansion of light, 1914, used contrasting color forms to convey impressions and trigger memories. During the 1920s, Severini's style became more traditional. Pan at the Monico. This painting of a dance hall was one of the sensations at the Futurist exhibition in Paris in 1912, and was the perfect subject for a Futurist-styled exploration of movement and rhythm. The original painting was destroyed in the war and later recreated by the artist. 1959-60, oil on canvas, 280 by 400 centimeters, Pompidou Center, Paris, France. Umberto Boccioni. B. Reggio Calabria, 1882, D. Sort, 1916. Umberto Boccioni was the most loyal supporter of Filippo Marinetti, opposite, the founder of Futurism, and probably the most naturally gifted Futurist artist. As adept in sculpture as in painting, Boccioni created some of the movement's most enduring art. His early work was influenced by divisionism. He was a pupil of Balla and symbolism. In 1910, Boccioni focused on depicting the raw energy of the city, a theme that gave him the subject for Futurism's first major painting. The City Rises, 1910. Around this time he came up with his theory of lines of force, a device for linking up objects and drawing the viewer into the center of the picture. Boccioni then turned away from social themes to focus on illustrating his numerous theories, especially concerning dynamism. Boccioni was an enthusiastic advocate of World War I and volunteered in 1915, but was killed in a riding accident while training. The Futurists never recovered from his death. Lifeline. 1882, born in Reggio Calabria, 1901-2002, becomes student of Giacomo Balla in Rome, 1910, co-writes Manifesto of Futurist Painters, becomes the main theorist of the Futurist movement. Ints the first, 1910, paints the first major Futurist work, The City Rises. 1912-13, produces major Futurist sculpture, Unique Forms of Continuity in Space. 1914, publishes Futurist Painting and Sculpture, a comprehensive survey. The movement of 1916, thrown off a horse and killed during military training. The street enters the house. Boccioni's aim was to recreate the sensation one would experience on opening a window and having all life and the noises of the street rush in at the same time. He describes these interpenetration and principles of spatial disruption in his technical manifesto. 1911, Oil on Canvas, Niedersächsisches Landesmuseum, Hanover, Germany. States of Mind. The Farewells Boccioni States of Mind triptych was the first great statement of Futurist painting, synthesizing its theoretical interests in Cubism, the ideas of influential French philosopher, Henri Bergson, and individual experience. Farewells, which forms the central panel, is concerned with the emotions of parting. The painting can be read as a hieroglyph that combines flashes of memory, feelings of separation, and the anticipation of travel into a wholly heightened sense of consciousness. 1911, Oil on Canvas, 71 by 96 centimeters, MoMA, New York, U.S. Closer look. Expressive forms. Boccioni wanted to capture the essence of emotion by forcing colors and form to express themselves. The swirls of smoke from the train's funnel merge with disc-shaped clouds and pulsing radio signals to heighten the confusion of departure. Lines of force. Curving lines are used to exaggerate the emotional states of the embracing figures that they surround. Unique forms of continuity in space. This is possibly the most successful realization of the futurist aesthetic in any medium. Its modern, abstract form seems to explode outwards into the surrounding space. A number of bronze castings were made after the artist's death. The Tate, London, and MoMA, New York, both own versions. 1912-13, 118 by 88 by 37 centimeters, bronze, Mattioli Collection, Milan, Italy. Dynamism of a cyclist. Boccioni translated his sculptural revelations onto canvas to produce a series of analytical studies of human movement that proved his most abstract paintings. Shifting planes of color and structural contrast to fuse the figure into its surroundings, conveying the idea of a cyclist moving through space and time. 1913, Oil on Canvas, 70 by 95 centimeters, Mattioli Collection, Milan, Italy. The Charge of the Lancers. Boccioni was an ardent supporter of war, yet his only major war image was this collage made just before Italy entered the conflict. Over newspaper cuttings describing French advances, cavalry attack a German trench. 1914-15, Oil and Collage on Cardboard, 32 by 50 centimeters, Civica Galleria di Arte Moderna, Milan, Italy. Luigi Russolo. B. Portogruaro, 1885, Di Serro, 1947. Luigi Russolo was the most literal-minded and least innovative exponent of Futurism until he transferred his energies from painting to composing. His work was often characterized by its clumsy use of bold colors and forms. He acted like a prototype futurist should, dabbling in all the arts until he found success as a musical theorist and composer. Russolo invented new noise-making instruments known as intonarumori, sound boxes. In 1913, he published his The Art of Noises manifesto, which called for a new awareness of the sonic possibilities of the city. He attempted to incorporate the sounds of gurgling pipes and jolting trams into some of his musical scores. Revolt. Russolo described this work as the collision of two forces, revolution versus inertia. It addresses the potential unrest arising from the clash between rapid industrialization and an outdated social structure. 1911-12, Oil on Canvas, 150 by 230 centimeters, Haag's Gemeente Museum, The Hague, Netherlands. Closer look. Red wedge. A crowd advances as a red wedge. Buildings seem to retreat, pushed back by pointed red lines of force. Garish colors enhance the sense of aggression. Ion context. Marinetti's Manifesto. Filippo Tommaso Marinetti, 1876-1944, was born in Alexandria. He studied law in Paris before moving to Milan. On February 20, 1909, this ambitious poet published his remarkable The Founding and Manifesto of Futurism on the cover of the prestigious French newspaper Le Figaro. His rejection of the past and glorification of war, machines, and speed immediately attracted followers to his standard. Marinetti, photographed by Jo Hoppe, 1913. In his first manifesto, Marinetti described a roaring car as more beautiful than the victory of Samothrace. A superb publicist and provocateur, his futurist spectacles caused riots wherever he went. Marinetti's ardent patriotism and disdain for tradition led to a friendship with Mussolini, and his becoming a fascist in 1919.